I'm a student who has gone through the self-improvement transformational journey, and in this video I'm going to share some of the lessons that I learned recently that I just wish I had known sooner. So lesson number 1 is to start with the basics. And anything that you want to do in your life starts with this. You want to go on to self-improvement, start with the basics. You want to go build a business, start with the basics. You want to get good grades, start with the basics. So what are the basics? Stop doing bad habits, cut out stimulations, work on good habits, and work specifically on the things which bother you the most. You feel shit about your physique, work on that. You feel like your social skills, your charisma isn't good enough, work on that. You feel like your self-esteem is so low that you feel bad in every social situation, work on that. Whatever bothers you, that is your direction. Lesson number 2, pain. An old Tony Robbins advice. You will only take action when the pain of not taking action is greater than the pain of action. How will you implement this? Specificity. Specificity, you want to be specific with your goals. You want to be specific with your habits, what you say you're going to do. Meaning, if you're specific, I want to build $1,000 a month business before I finish school. That's very specific. I want to get 120 marks the next exam. That's very specific. Every single day when I wake up from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., I'm going to work on my YouTube channel. That's specific. And when you are specific, it means that you can fail. And when you can fail, you have accountability. You can tell this to other people, you can tell this to your friend, you can call them up, you can do this. Second thing, when you're specific, you put money and people in. That's how you can put accountability. You put money and people. So what I did recently was, because I do inner work, I do like things like facing my fears, I go out and I do like guided meditations. All of these are very unpredictable, chaotic things, and also very hard to do, scary things, right? So my routine is there's a lot of chaos, and I've never really had scheduled fixed times to work on this YouTube channel. So what I did, I called my friend and I was like, every single morning you need to do your workout, I need to work out on my YouTube channel, and we'll call it this specific, we'll call it 8 a.m. every single day. And if you hadn't done your work, you give me money. If I hadn't done my work, I give the specific amount of money. Works like magic. I did not do it properly today as my alarm didn't go off, and I owe him money. Tomorrow I'll go and give it to him. And when you do that, if money is something which it gets on your stress levels a little bit, you're gonna go out and do the action. I know that over the next week I'm going to do that habit, that deep work, more than I ever did in the last few weeks, just because stuff's on the line. You need that pressure. Pressure causes action, because that pressure, that pain is going to be there. The pain of not taking action is going to be there, but it's just a lot more subtle and a lot more spread out over a long time horizon. But the pain of taking action is immediate. So make the pain of not taking action immediately, so that you don't live a life of regret. And another thing, the exercise that you can try is doing the death meditation. I'll probably have one on my channel, and you can just search it up on YouTube, death meditation, where a person just guides you through the process. Julian Blanc's video is also really good. And what this does is that this puts a lot of pressure onto you. When you sink into the perspective that you died and you reflect back onto your life, you're like, shit, I need to do so much, I need to do this, I need to take this action, I need to talk with this person, I need to tell them I love them. Boom. More pressure. And another subtlety I want to get into is that your routine won't change. Even with me, right? It was so chaotic. I wanted to do this, and then I wanted to spend some time learning and everything. I had 100 different things I wanted to do, and I never really did any of them because my number one thing was very chaotic. Routines won't change unless you force it to change. Routines won't change unless you put things on the line. And along with the death meditation, one thing you can do is like journal the worst case scenario of not taking action. How will not taking action negatively impact your life? See that. And that can put more pressure onto you. I'm just throwing away ideas here, okay? A lot of these stuff like the journaling about not taking action, I only did it once. So I'm just throwing out our ideas here with stuff that I learned. And some of these stuff I have done in my own life. Some of these stuff I haven't. Lesson number 3. Axe cutter. The extent of the work that you do does not depend on the hours that you spend cutting the tree, but rather the sharpness of your axe. If you see all the work that you do, leverage is not distributed equally. The things that you do, the work that you do is the input that you give, the hours that you spend, times the leverage that the work has. And if you actually see it, like 20, it's maximum. If you're lucky, you will be spending 10% of time on the productive work. But I'm so productive, I'm on self-improvement, I cut out all my bad habits, I was like, I'm this and I'm doing this work, but is that the number one thing? Is the work that you do the one thing? Ask yourself, what is the one thing? On myself, I got a few things when I asked myself this question. What is that one thing that by making progress on that, everything else becomes unnecessary or 10 times easier? What's that one thing? And for me, that one thing was facing my fears. That one thing was like becoming a more authentic person. And second thing, getting views on this YouTube channel. And everything else just spirals from that. So focus on that. And everything else is a distraction. All other works, consider it a distraction. You want to make sure that the time that you spend is aligned to this one thing. And this is like such a hard thing to implement. Even if we are deep in productivity, even with me, I still struggle with it. I didn't implement this properly. I still haven't implemented this properly. The next lesson. No track. The things which are not tracked cannot be improved. And this applies to metrics that you're after, to keep things, to the number of videos that you're making, to the amount that you're studying and the marks that you're getting. But this applies to productivity itself. And the productivity means the output that you're getting in a given amount of time. Output by time. So that's how you should be tracking your time. That's how you should be using your calendar. Track your productivity. Like this time to this time. What I'm starting to do is like I want to track every single hour of my day. And not just that, not the activity that I did, but what I accomplished in that hour. So I don't just say I was starting from this time to this time. No. I finished these 2 lessons. And then I did this. And then the next day I'd be like in this YouTube videos, I finished one YouTube video in like 2 hours. That's what you need to be doing. What is not tracked cannot be improved. And when you track your productivity, every single hack, every single productivity hack and tip and trick, you can use this principle to implement it in your life and see how it affects you. Again, such a bad practitioner of everything that I'm telling, but I'm trying, bro. Next lesson. You are the basis of everything that you want in life. You are the basis of all the goals that you will achieve in your life. So you have to start with you. And the progress and the journey of self-improvement, the journey that you take on, the transformation that you go through and the things that you achieve are going to be very, very personal to the life that you have lived. The things that you learn, the actions that you take, very, very personal. I'll give you an example. Intermittent fasting is such a very high productivity thing, and I wanted to be on intermittent fasting while I'm doing my deep work. And even if I'm hungry, I'll just like drink caffeine, and I'll be like, caffeine is very good for health, because that's what the people said. That's what Huberman said. That's what Andrew Huberman, that's what Hamza said. I'm like, okay, I need to do this. And that hunger, the like stomach inflammation, acidity, everything I feel, I just drank water and stuffed it down, and I did it for quite a bit of time. But the thing is, I had a problem with that. I have gastritis, which is basically inflammation of the stomach, and that just aggravated it a lot. I just don't need to go to the gym because it doesn't align with my priorities. But a lot of people that I respect in the podcast will say to go to the gym. They have the goals in tech and in software. Well, for me, the goals and the biggest things that I probably accomplished with my life is having the difficult conversations, is talking about the things that I'm like genuinely scared to talk about. And it's like the personal journey is probably very unattractive compared to what you saw online. And it's okay that stop thinking about this perfection. But then Jordan Peterson said this, and I have to base it off this way. And then like this YouTuber said this, and this person that I respect, and I have to fit into the standard. Be comfortable with the things that you're implementing. Even the things like the remedies that and hacks that people tell works, but then it's like it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for you. And base whatever action and things and goals that you take on based on you. Get help from other people, but don't base it on them, and be comfortable when your personal shit doesn't align with the things that they tell. Stop taking advice from the people that don't live it. And this is where the education system falls apart. People are like, work on this exam, go into this college, do this, do that. If you get good marks, and then your life is settled. They have this, like, get this degree. And there are time and places where college and degrees will add to your brand, but most of the things, it's on you. Nothing external is going to fix that. And the path to wealth, most of it is messed up. Go into a good college, get a job. If you read Millionaire Fast, and you'll understand this. And the actual path to wealth is where you have magnitude and you have scale, which cannot be done in a traditional job, no matter what your job is. Even if you're in a high-paying, prestigious job that you're like that your upper middle class parents want you to follow, it may not work. And stop taking money advice from people who aren't rich. And people who are rich, you can like find them in paid communities online, find them in like on YouTube, people like Alex Hormozi, Daniel Priestley, and who knows how many other good entrepreneurs there are. And this is how you can like weed out a lot of scammers, whether in your family or whether like even in books. Like there are some books which I think like are stupid. And this advice will like make you contradict a lot of the people around you, and that's fine. It's fine. Be the weird one who tells no to moderation. Be the weird one that lives strictly with his life. The weird one that's disciplined. The weird one that's honest even when it backfires. And the last and probably the most important lesson that I leave you with: get to the cause. You take action, of course, and you take action to fill this void inside of you. But your experience of life will not change until you get to the cause, until you get to how you interact with the world, with the paradigm that you're following in your mind. Is the actions that you're taking, is your journey based on scarcity, or is it coming from a place of authentic abundance? Are your fears, is that resistance, is that fear that run you, that control you, but you aren't even noticing it? Do you feel stuck? Do you feel resistance? Do you feel, and all of these things, until you get to the course, you can never really change who you are as a person. Yes, you may take action, but inside it's very hard to change. And that's why I made a video exactly addressing this, on how to actually transform as a person. And unless you take action on that, you're just going to feel stuck when taking action. You're just going to be facing the same fears, taking the similar action, but just never reaching it, never like going to the next league. So click on that video and I'll see you there. Don't forget, I'm watching you from afar and I'm rooting for you. Keep taking action. Peace.